I got emotional watching the diner scene because I had never seen anything of mine where I forgot that I was watching me.
You killed somebody with a lobster!
Yeah, it's bonkers. This character is so much fun. To sell his superpower, part of it is how weird can we get?
The ending of season 3 was a clear tease that there's plans for more.
Yeah, they had big plans for a subsequent season, and then we got the rug pulled out from under us.
When did you get the call that you were coming back?
A week or two of the strike ending, and I was so relieved.
Were you nervous being the guy whose character Foggy when that's how the show starts?
No, my reaction was, this is dramatic, let's see where it goes. With Bullseye, there are some people who are never gonna forgive him for killing Foggy, and I get it.
You killed Vanessa.
Hey! That body count's getting high.
How much of what you do with the marksman and trick shot is practical versus special effects?
Almost all of it is.
Well, hello, welcome to another episode of the Brandon Davis Show. BD here, and this week's main character is Wilson Bethel. A few things I really need to tell you before you watch or listen to this episode, because actually if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Patreon or podcast platforms, there's a couple differences to this episode, so I want to share that with you really quick. So 5 quick things real quick, and then we'll get to the episode. It's really fun. Number 1, spoiler warning. This contains spoilers for everything up until Season 2, Episode 5 of Daredevil. Season 2, Daredevil Born Again. Distinction. Season 2, Episode 5. So everything that is out at the time this episode was released for you to watch and listen is fair game. That is your spoiler warning. Vanessa, the whole Daredevil Bullseye, that's all fair game. Number 2, who is Wilson Bethel? Well, of course, Wilson Bethel is Bullseye. Freaking legend. He debuted in Season 3 of Daredevil on Netflix. He came back for Daredevil Born Again. He was in that first episode. He killed Foggy. Now he's killed Vanessa. He's an absolute legend. He got to do the diner scene and kill a man with a freaking lobster tail. And Wilson Bethel is an awesome dude who I believe now holds the record for most F words used on the show. Now, I curse plenty on this show. People, myself, our guests are allowed to use whatever language they want. We don't edit it. And I think this is going to hold the record for a while. I think he certainly has the most F-bombs dropped in a single episode of the Brandon Davis Show. I think that's a fun little fact. But he plays Bullseye. He's awesome as Bullseye. He's done a lot of great work outside of it, but it feels like this is part of his identity, and this conversation is one where I think you're going to learn how much he appreciates this character, how much he cares about it, and hopefully you feel like you're in the room with us, because that's always the goal. I'm asking questions that come from a fan perspective because I'm a fan of this stuff. That's why I do this, and Wilson Bethel seems like he would fit right in that room with any of us because he seems like a genuine fan of this character and everything he gets to do with it. Number 3, I always like to share how these come together, and this is a funny little story because at the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 launch event is where I met Wilson for the first time. I met a lot of people there actually for the first time, and we had a great conversation there. He was super chill, and I got in touch with his publicist the next morning. I said, hey, Hail Mary, I have a suite booked just a few blocks from the event. This is the show. This is who's done it. This is who's doing it. I actually had Matthew Lillard come into the suite that morning, and Janaea Walton after him. And I said that I was like, well, we have these booked. That works. You know, I got this approved with Disney. It's all done through proper channels and everything as best I can. Well, here's a Hail Mary. If he's available this afternoon, love to stay. While I was interviewing Janaea Walton, who will be on the channel, BB Urick herself, in 2 weeks after episode 7 of season 2, Daredevil Born Again, I got an email from his publicist that we booked it. He's going to come by, and I actually sent here's the confirmation, here's the address, while I was interviewing Janaea, because I had my iPad in my hands. Like, we need to just make sure we lock this in. Did it as fast as I could. And Janaea was a super awesome interview, so I'm very excited for you to hear that. I'm very excited for you to hear from Matthew Lillard next week, and I'm very excited for you to hear this interview with Wilson Bethel. Also, if you're listening in podcast form, this is going to have a bonus scene of sorts. It'll all be one audio on Patreon and on podcast platforms, because Ayelet Zurer and I, Ayelet was on last week's episode. We now know Vanessa's fate after episode 5. We're going to play that audio for you right there on the podcast platform on the Patreon, so you can play through to the end, and you will hear Ayelet's thoughts on solidifying this as Vanessa's end of the run. She's gone. She really is dead. We talked about exiting the role, how she found out, all that kind of stuff. If you're on YouTube, it's going to be a separate video published on Wednesday morning. So Wilson Bethel will be published Tuesday night on Patreon, on YouTube, all that stuff. Just subscribe so you don't miss it. That's the bottom line. But if you're on podcasts, it's all going to play here. So stay through even after Wilson and I wrap up. If you're on YouTube, it's a separate video. That's all that it is. And the last thing I need to share with you is gratitude. Number 4. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We are so close to 100K. Maybe by the end of this week, we're going to be at 100K on YouTube. That's unreal. every Patreon subscriber, I'm starting now to put all the Patreon subscribers' names at the end of these videos as a sort of credits to say thank you. I wouldn't be here without every single one of you. Wilson Bethel would have no reason to stop and talk to me if I wasn't reaching all of you. This is an opportunity to showcase who he is, how much he cares about these characters, how much he cares about these scenes and these moments. And without me being able to reach you guys and having you guys here with me, these people give me an hour of their time, and I get to reach you all with it. And it's just so cool that we're doing this. 100K on YouTube is going to be really cool. And maybe stick around, because right behind me you see Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas right now for CinemaCon. So there'll be lots of CinemaCon coverage on the channel as well, and more Daredevil Born Again interviews, and just more Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all kinds of cool stuff. Movies in general. I will interview somebody if I find their work interesting and they're available to talk to me. I would love to have them on. Without further ado, please enjoy this interview with the main character of the week, Wilson Bethel, Bullseye. I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Wilson Bethel.
Hey, man.
You're the main character on today's episode.
All right, I love it.
Dude, thanks for coming. This just came together really quick.
Yeah, I love
appreciate
it.
You,
like 2 hours ago.
Dude, literally. We wrapped up in another room where we had Matthew and Janaea come by.
Sick.
And I went downstairs and I was like, hey, can I keep the room? And they were like, no.
Yeah.
But they got us in another one, and we were able to set this up.
Made it work, dude. Every now and then.
Man, thank you for being so flexible and coming by.
For sure, dude.
At the top, well, this is going to go after episode 5, so that's everybody's spoiler
Episode
warning.
4.
No, we'll do 5 for this one. Whichever. Yeah.
No, I'm the main character in 4.
Yeah, but
Wait, hold on. Now I'm confused.
Either way now people have seen 4.
They've seen 4. Okay,
and
got you.
I interviewed Islet.
Okay, yeah.
So
that makes sense.
she would make sense to have on 5.
She's kind of more of a main character in 5. I do think.
Yeah, I was just saying, but we might swap them, because I was like, we might do. So I think that okay.
Far be it from me to tell you how to run your operation.
No, I do think
here,
it would. I do think this would make more sense to have after 4, because you did some stuff, dude.
Oh man,
you did some things.
Man, did I? Yeah.
Oh, but before that, we'll get to that. But before that, like at the time of recording, last night was like the launch event, the first time people got to see anything. I've seen the whole season twice.
Wow, twice!
I watched
dude,
it.
you're a real deal, homie.
It's so good, dude.
That's awesome.
But the episodes expired yesterday at noon for me.
That's funny. Okay.
So I woke up early and I watched the whole thing one more time.
Oh my
I was like, I don't know who we're gonna talk to yet. Like, I want to make sure I just have it all fresh in my head.
Yeah.
And it's that good. Like, it was worth watching twice, dude.
Dude, that's amazing. That's what a cool thing to hear, man. I still haven't even. I've seen the first 4, but I haven't seen past 4 yet.
Oh man, yeah. Well, 5 I think is a masterpiece.
Wow.
It is really, really good. And that's when I was like, oh, this is gonna solidify that everybody who was with it on Netflix is getting what they want.
Yeah.
In a sense. Yeah. But dude, it's so good. But what's it like for you to be at this stage where people are finally seeing it, and you're simultaneously, you guys are filming season 3?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I haven't started shooting yet, but I will soon. Dude, it's so exciting, man. You know, it's hard. It's been hard for me. It's been hard, really hard. That was a Easter egg for some fucking Dex fans out there.
There's a few.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a few.
Yeah. When we wrapped the last season, in July of last year, at the wrap party, they showed some footage. And they showed some Fisk. They showed a little bit of Fisk Daredevil stuff, and they showed the diner scene. And I got emotional watching the diner scene, because I had never seen anything of mine where I forgot that I was watching me. And that scene just is so fucking badass, so wild, and so much fun to watch that I actually had a sort of weird out-of-body thing. Anyway, so that was I've now been sitting on that knowledge that this fucking scene exists since July of last year. Oh. And I've been just desperately wanting to share it.
So what do you do? Do you have people in your life who are close enough that you can be I saw some shit, this is what happened?
I told a few people.
Yeah,
I told
you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I told a few people, but that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's saying you saw a UFO, or you had to dude, I had this dream last night. Can I tell you about my dream? And they're like, bzz, fucking power down. Yeah, dude, I did this amazing scene, and it's really cool, and here's what I got to do. Bzz, nobody gives a shit.
And then they see it.
Yeah, well, hopefully, look, I try not to put too much pressure on outcomes and expectation on that shit, but it's hard not to with something like this. And I mean, at the very least, I'm super fucking proud of that whole episode, this whole season, all of the work done across the board, on screen, off screen. I mean, just like, dude, this was like a Herculean effort, and everybody brought their fucking A game like to a bananas degree. And it's just like, so when we were at this event last night, for the launch of the thing, I'm like, every single person that I'm seeing, from editors to VFX people to my cast, writers, producers, everybody I see, I just take them in my arms and I'm like, amazing fucking work.
Yeah.
Because that's how, there's so many people involved in pulling off a good season of TV, and I think we did it, man.
That focus rack down there on all the forks and knives up to you at the diner bar there,
dude.
It's just so good, because as an audience member, you know what this guy's capable of. And it's just this tease. And then you killed somebody with a fucking lobster.
Yeah, dude. It's bonkers. It's really bonkers.
You know what? As a kid who grew up with Ben Affleck's Daredevil, I always think about Colin Farrell's Bullseye flicking that peanut off the...
I've never seen it.
Oh, man. So have you heard about the scene at all?
No.
There's a scene in that movie which, for some... I don't know why. I think it stuck with a lot of people, but it stuck with me.
Yeah.
Bullseye is on an airplane,
okay,
and there's an old lady snoring next to him. So he takes the peanuts on the tray table and flicks it off the seat and goes down her throat, and she starts choking, but she stops snoring. And I was like, that's like the most iconic Bullseye thing that could happen. That I think killing somebody with a lobster is even more creative than using a peanut on a tray table.
I mean, dude, I feel like I'm stating the obvious here for people who love the comics and who love the show and the character and whatnot, but like, this character is so much fun because there's a creativity involved with the character that I think a lot of superheroes don't get. Like, superheroes can have sick powers, shit that you are like, fuck yeah, I love seeing them go full fucking blast off and shit, whatever. But one of the things that makes Bullseye so much fun is that, like, to sell his superpower, part of it is just like, how weird can we get? How creative can we get? And it makes for like a different level, I think, of excitement, engagement, and honestly, like, humor and fun with the character that that's just special. And I just I think it's an incredible. I say it all the time, but like, it's just such a blessing to me that I get to play this character and I have so much fun doing it, and it's fun as hell.
Is it intentional not to have watched that original Daredevil movie?
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't watch it, at the time for whatever reason, and then certainly once I started working, and then I was like, no, I don't need. I mean, I have a sense from other people, from other people's chatter or whatever, like the version of the character. And I've seen, like, I think maybe little clips of Colin Farrell, but this is a very different world, very different.
Oh yeah.
So I sort of let myself.
Yeah.
And it's very different from the comics too. Like, this Bullseye is really his. This was, I think, very significantly a big part of the creation of this Bullseye was Eric's imagining of him in the Eric Olson, who was the showrunner on season 3 of the Netflix show. He was the one who I think really brought Bullseye into this iteration of how we see him now, with some incredible writing, some really detailed writing, and a lot of like heart. That now I get to sort of just. I carry, and the new, Dario, they get to carry some of that same kind of mythology and that same, energy, emotional energy.
I remember that early on when I think it might be like one of the first scenes you had where you just had Fisk dead to rights, and he's like scared in his prison escape. Yeah. Oh man, in
the truck.
Yeah.
That was the introduction of my character.
That was the first scene, right?
That was the first scene, dude.
And
to this day, I'm like, dude, like, that is maybe like my my 3 favorite Bullseye scenes, I think, are this new diner scene.
That's got to be number 1.
I think it's probably number 1 now. Yeah. The Bulletin, the Daredevil Dex fight in the Bulletin, which was just so stylish and so fucking, like, just sinister and menacing. And the introduction scene that you're talking about when we first meet Dex, just a really smartly filmed, stylish and just fucking badass introduction to that character.
Oh man! And you wore a Daredevil suit still before you've worn a full-on Bullseye costume, dude.
I know. I mean,
insane.
yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll be in a Thor suit for next season or something.
Point,
just throwing hammers, dude.
Man, but was there ever a version of season 3? We talked about this a little bit last night, but the ending of season 3 was a clear tease that there's plans for more.
Yeah.
I assume had you guys known Netflix was going to cancel it, there might not have been this tease of Bullseye getting a metallic back that saves his life.
Right, yeah.
Did you guys ever have any other ending to it?
No. No. Even that was so subtle. If I remember correctly, it's literally just a reference to the there's a doctor working in the thing, and they so Dr. So-and-so, and that's the doctor in, whatever, Wolverine comics or whatever, who did some kind of adamantium fucking, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
I don't remember the doctor's name, but I
think it's like a Japanese name maybe. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, I mean, it's hard to say now in hindsight, obviously, what the plans were or how it would have shaken out. I knew that they definitely had big plans for Bullseye. Eric did for a subsequent season, and then we got the rug pulled out from under us pretty unceremoniously. But so it goes, and here we are.
Looking up the doctor.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if Google will show it to me so easily, but it says Kenji Oyama. Yeah, worked on Bullseye. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
When Netflix canceled Daredevil after 3, I feel like I never thought that was actually gonna be the end.
I mean, I did.
I was about to ask, did you actually did you make peace with it? You were like, damn.
I didn't make peace with it, but I thought it was over. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't make peace with it. Especially once it was announced, once Disney announced. I mean, I never made peace with it. So it was I remember Charlie telling me mate, it might revert back to Disney at some point. The rights at some point will revert back to Disney. We'll see what happens. So then you're sort of like, okay, well, will it? Maybe. Years pass. Finally, the rights do revert back to Disney. I don't get a call. Sometime after that, they announced they are making the show. I don't get a call. Still don't get a call. I'm sort of, I was just in, and then they start making the show. Then I'm like, oh shit. No, I'm not in this. And not only that, but then I'm fucking looking, I'm just waiting to check, check the, internet someday and see new Bullseye is cast, and just have my heartbeat broken. I'm literally I remember there was a period of I don't know, whatever it was, 6 months or a year or something after they had announced that the show was coming back, but I hadn't gotten a call, and I was checking in with Charlie periodically. Mate, I don't know. And I was just waiting, for that to happen, and just preparing myself for how devastated. And anyway, then eventually I got the call that said I was coming back. So that, but it was, I never got over it.
I can't imagine,
because I loved it so much.
Living in that space of not knowing and just hoping. That'd be God. I don't wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're back, dude. I think everybody's glad you're back. You're this season especially, dude.
Thank you, man.
Your characters, dude, you got some good stuff this year.
Thank you, man.
You got some really good stuff, and you did some great work with it.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
Do you think that the metal spine is part of why Dex survived the building jump? And
I mean, yes, as an actor, we create our own sort of backstories and things like that oftentimes, so we have to figure out justification. They could write tomorrow that there was never such a thing as, and I would have to be okay with that. But yeah, I mean, why not? He fucking definitely should have probably died from that fall, and he didn't. So let's say it.
Yeah, we'll run with it.
Yeah.
But I remember.
And I'm down also going forward. If Dex is harder to kill, because he's got some crazy bionic shit going on in his back, then better for me.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's calling every season.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that I remember watching the first episode of Born Again, and when Foggy died, I was like, wait a second. This is something that was, I remember the whole talking points where everybody's back. Yeah. We're doing the show you loved. Yeah. And then Foggy's killed off so quickly. I was like, oh boy. I was not furious about it or anything. Yeah. I was like, this is dramatic. Let's see where it goes. Yeah. But I was like, man, fans are going to flip out. Were you nervous being the guy whose character killed Foggy when you found out that's how the show starts?
No, I think my reaction was basically similar to yours. It was sort of like, whoa, this is dramatic. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
I've had two experiences in my career of having worked on a show for a period, sort of been like a really loved character, and then doing something like that a lot of people never came back from. I did like this very different show many years ago called Heart of Dixie. It was like a romantic comedy, and my character was like paired up with the lead girl. We had like, crazy great chemistry and the whole thing. And then like, I don't know, it was the second or third season, he cheats on her. And that was like, that's a predominantly female audience. That is a hard one to come back from for a lot of women. They're like, they loved my character, and then they were like, fuck that dude, he cheated.
Don't do it.
And I think similar deal with Bullseye. There are some people who are just maybe never gonna forgive him for killing Foggy. And look, respect, I get it. Foggy was a beloved character.
They forgave Bucky Barnes for
well,
killing Tony's parents.
So
under mind control.
Yeah. So that's exactly. So there's the other part of it, is that like it also makes my job fun in a way, because then I have to work overtime a little bit to try to win people back over, and I think the writers know that too. So then they end up having to, and it worked on Heart of Dixie as well. It's like they almost have to like give you extra great shit to do down the road, because they don't just want people to fucking hate you every time you're on screen.
Yeah.
They want you to they want you to people to be like fucking pumping their fist a bit.
Yeah.
So that means you get to have like extra cool shit to try, not necessarily redeem you, but at least sort of like get people like, okay, I guess like I'll put up with him.
Did you go see Infinity War and Endgame?
Yeah, of course.
Well, so that had to be so annoying in a sense too, because you're like, I exist out here, but I just not right now. God, I would think I was one of the people who, if I worked at comicbook.com back then, so that was also what they would make me ask.
Yeah.
But I would have been like, as a fan, I would ask like, so are you going to be in this movie? Can you come back? And I bet at the time when you were getting those questions, it was like, I wish.
Yeah.
Like,
well, at that point, they didn't. The Netflix show.
Because that was 2018.
That was 2018, yeah.
So Infinity War was coming out that year.
Yeah, but keep in mind that those Netflix shows were never part of the MCU. So there was never any hope of it. It was always like, that was always made very explicitly clear that
they would say the guy with the hammer and not Thor.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, the big green guy, or the one in the metal suit.
Yeah,
they would never name them.
Yeah,
that was really interesting. I brought that up because I remember in Infinity War, Chris Pratt Star-Lord punches Thanos, which is what lets Thanos win.
Right.
Like, among other things,
yes.
But that was one where they had him.
Yes.
And Chris Pratt is pretty open about, like, I got so much shit for what Star-Lord did. I still get it today.
Right.
And it's like, it's so fun. I always wonder about how...
Ooh, remind me of that scene, though. I even saw that pretty recently.
They have Thanos down. They're getting the gauntlet off his hand, and Star-Lord finds out that, Thanos killed Gamora. He's like, where's Gamora? And Mantis is like, he killed her. And Star-Lord punches him, which sets him free. Because he punches him, he gets knocked over, and then all of a sudden Thanos is back up.
That movie is so good. Dude.
I love those movies. Dude, that theatrical experience with those two movies.
It's so sick.
What's your favorite movie-going experience you ever had?
Ever?
Yeah, like, is there one that stands out? Because I think, for me, it's like Endgame on one hand, because it was like a sporting event.
Yeah,
You were literally cheering in theaters, but then also like Interstellar is like a completely different reason of why I love going to see it.
I mean, some of those early Marvel movies have definitely got to be up there, man. Yeah.
Avengers.
I think Infinity War is like kind of a perfect movie.
It's better than Endgame.
Yeah, it is.
But Endgame is more fun to watch.
Yeah. Infinity War is like, I mean, that's like a legit, like, amazing thing they pulled off at that movie. I'm trying to think, like, what is just incredible. I'm like blanking right now, but I mean, I've had a lot of experiences in theaters that I just adore.
Yeah.
I think it's part of why I love doing this shit.
Yeah, man.
It's just like, I love movies. I love seeing movies with other people and getting the reactions and getting the excitement and all that stuff. So yeah.
So when did you get the call that it was going to happen? You were coming back.
I mean, it was. I'll never forget, because it there was the actors' strike and the writers' strike. Shortly before those strikes happened, I had my daughter, and my wife had my daughter. I was there, and so like going into like, I was like, oh, I'll take some time off while my to like hunker down with the family before my daughter's born, take some time off. Well, that time off ended up being like a year and a half because like these strikes ended up hitting.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I've got a fucking newborn. I'm like, I've never not worked for this long in my life, and I'm just like sort of in full blown panic mode and not doing well like psychologically in some ways during that time. I mean, doing great on one hand because I had this beautiful baby, but yeah, like stressing. And then the strikes ended, and I think within like a week or two of the strike ending, I got a call, and like I shit you not, I literally just like I was in my bedroom, I fell to my knees. I was so relieved. I was also obviously so excited. It was such like an insane like stew of feelings because I was so excited to get to do the character again that I've been checking the internet on and hoping and dreaming and you know being like, no, it's not gonna happen. Like just kill this idea. Like you need to move on. So all of that finally like coming to fruition. The whole stuff with like just working again and like, you know, oh, I could support my family and like thank God. And yeah, and then just thrilled to like be back with the gang, dude. Like I can't tell you how much fun we have working with this with each other. This group of people is amazing, and it's really one of the best jobs I've ever had.
Yeah, dude. It seems like you got like I don't know many casts that seem to enjoy working together as much as it seems like you guys do.
Yeah.
And I think that helps us fans have fun watching it too. It's cool.
It also like legitimately raises the quality of the product of what you see on screen.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like when people love going to work, they love working with the people that they work with. They respect the people that they work with. They see the guy across from them fucking okay, like this fucking Vincent D'Onofrio, this dude's been doing this 50 years and he's bringing his A game right now. Okay, guess I better fucking bring my A game, you know, like I'm not going to be the one who lets this team down. So it's an amazing it's really an amazing energy. Yeah.
Man, I think one of my favorite things of this season is the dynamic that's forced upon Matt with Dex. And this whole like
I can't wait. I haven't even seen that shit yet. But yeah, I mean I was there, but yeah.
This whole like do I let him die? Do I save him? Do I work with him? Do I throw him under a bus? Whatever. Yeah. That's got to be fun to do, like, because it's this evolution of something you guys have done for years, but this is a brand new way to do it where you're having to.
It was also exciting because like keep in mind, dude, this is not like, you know, I'm going into doing my 4th season on this show, right?
Yeah.
That was by far the most that Charlie and I had ever actually worked together. Like especially in real, you know, scene work where we're like acting opposite each other, you know, fight scene, you know, we had some fight scenes and stuff. But like up until those scenes, I'm not sure that we had ever outside of a fight scene interacted. We had one phone call in the OG show, right? He calls me to tell me that I'm getting played basically and that Julie's dead. And other than that, the only scenes that we interact are fights, and that's in the first season.
Yeah.
No. There's a scene. The scene in the first season of Born Again where he comes to prison. So we had that one scene.
Yeah, because I was thinking about and how many times because the culmination of 4 is a rare moment where all the key players basically, or most of the key players, the 4 being you, Charlie, Vincent, and Islet, together on set. Because I think the last time that happened was the season 3 finale.
Season 3 finale.
Or season 1 finale, you guys had the dance, but you weren't like down there with them, so you probably, I don't even know, like maybe are you even on set with them when you're off that way? Oh, okay, because I know sometimes they could just put you somewhere and just look.
Yeah, no, those days are fun because everybody's there, you know.
But dude, that season 1 finale was great.
Great, man.
The dance, and then also, man, when they started doing the
aspect ratio shifts,
Aaron and Justin with the blue and the aspect ratio shift.
Yeah.
Does that change anything for you on set?
What do you mean?
Do you have to have like a relationship with the people filming it or an understanding of the light?
No, that's just camera. That's just camera work.
And they just work around you and do it that way? Because that's beautiful the way they...
Yeah, they brought some really, you know, lovely stylistic touches to the show. I love the lighting work that they've done and, doing this thematic lighting work. They really brought that home in a great way. And, yeah, man, I think the show's in such good hands right now. It's such an amazing thing to feel like confident, especially after everything that the show went through, which is obviously well publicized at this point, in getting the first season of Born Again on the air. And, I think there's some really high highs in that season. But I also
the beginning and the end specifically for me.
Exactly.
That's what I love.
Well, and that was all the stuff that they shot that was new.
And I appreciate that like people are able to just be open about it. Yeah, we went back and changed things because also we were giving you what you want.
I think the thing that my only frustration, and I don't think I'm like setting the world on fire with this comment, but like my only frustration is that like I think I have so much respect for what this show is and has been. I think the fans are so deeply invested, have so much respect for the show, hold it to such a high standard that it was frustrating for me a little bit that we had to settle at all in coming back with that first season. Like I wanted it to be out the gate. Like I wanted this season, like what the quality of this season, season 2 Born Again, that's what I wanted for the first season. People have been waiting 6-7 years. Like how different does it hit if out the gate after that wait you get like a fucking banger season of TV? And we got some good moments, but it was not like it was not just that fucking oh shit, Daredevil's back. It was like Daredevil's back. There's some but like whatever, man. We made it.
How many fans you just won?
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you right now, do you have any people just heard you say that and they're like, fucking he's one of us.
Yeah.
Like and it's
Dude,
true
I get
though.
it.
Like but you guys there are actors you talk to that I've gotten the chance to sit down with and you can tell who like really loves it and also people who love doing it for a job.
Yeah.
Like and they still might love it, but there's people who like I feel like you've done some dope shit in your career, but Bullseye seems like the one that you're like I want to do this and like have the most epic run with it. And I'm sure everybody who goes and does a job, they want to do the best they can. But like, you can feel it with Daredevil cast. Like this is a rare instance where it's extra special because of how much you guys are invested personally in the stories and the characters.
And nobody more so, by the way, than Charlie and Vincent, who were like honestly they were the loudest, most relentless voices in like this is something is wrong with the way that this show is going right now. This needs to change. And so huge props to them, man. Like that's almost unheard of. Like a couple of actors on a show. I mean, not just any actors, obviously actors with a lot of clout and like you said, hugely invested in these characters and actors who have, like you said too, like gained a phenomenal level of trust from the fan base. That's what made it possible. Is that it's like if we're like making the parallel to this season of TV, it's like Charlie and Vincent standing there with their whole fucking army behind them of all the Daredevil fans. Like this must not stand. Like we've got to change this.
Yeah, man.
And they got it. They did it.
Do you do Comic-Cons and stuff?
Yeah.
Because I imagine like the fans must be so excited to like have you guys. I know New York Comic Con's an obvious one for you guys to go to. Yeah. But I imagine going out there, you hear from these people firsthand. They probably tell you how much they love it. Yeah, it's cool.
So it's so cool.
It's pretty cool. You killed Vanessa.
Hey!
I don't know how else to come out.
We're just spoiler. Yeah, dude. How many like critical fucking people in this show? I mean, I kill a lot of like randos, but now I've killed like at least 3 like main people in this show.
The body count is getting high, bro.
Yeah, the body count's getting high.
When you found out about how episode 4 ends. And you throw this globe, Kingpin beats it with a belt, and it shatters and hits her in the head, which leads to her death. What was your reaction to that?
Here comes a shitstorm, basically. You don't fucking kill Fisk's beloved without, wreaking some havoc after the fact. Yeah, I mean, I was also dude, first of all, it's tragic to me to be losing Iolette, who I think is really, and I think she will be they'll figure out ways to have her in flashbacks and whatnot because she's so good and such an essential part of this emotion, of the emotional dynamics of the show. But so that was part of me was just like, oh fuck, dude, I don't want to lose her as an actress. But like to our earlier thing, like. Any time where the stakes just get fucking ratcheted up in a mega way, dude, like I'm here for it. Like, yes, that's how I felt with Foggy. It's like, dude, the stakes are getting like put, through the roof. Let's go. Let's see where this goes. And yeah, I think that whole episode, the way that it builds to that climax, honestly, on the page, I was like, is this gonna work? Like the way that the way that it was sort of like, it all just seemed like, is this too complicated? But then seeing it, I'm like, wow, this is beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie, I was sat here like, why is Wilson having a boxing match? This bro should know better.
Yeah,
I know. He should know, but it's very Wilson at the same time, because not only is he it's a show.
He's a showman.
It's a showman.
He's old school, bro.
Yeah, man. Oh, but that end,
going into episode 5, obviously, which is just like a fucking, like you said before we started taping, you're like, it's a masterpiece. Yeah, dude.
5 is a masterpiece.
And
I've talked to a few friends who saw it.
Emotionally heavy, dude.
Oh man, I was talking to Brad Winderbaum last night, and that was the episode he asked me about, and I was like, dude, it's perfect.
Yeah,
like it is, like you couldn't have done better especially with giving her the send off and because in the Marvel universe, sometimes,
I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see
it. It's insane that I saw it before you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm bragging. I'm bragging.
I mean, I read it before you, fool.
All right, fine, whatever. Man, but I actually forgot to mention this earlier. At the end of the diner, towards the end of the diner fight scene, you look at that guy there with his dog, and you're like, I'm the good guy.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. What do you think that says about Dex?
I mean, dude, it says it's his entire where he's at for the whole season, which is like, I think, such a brilliant stroke on Dario's part of like, and I remember Dario first pitching it to me. He's like, Dex is on a mission because he thinks that he is like anointed, like he's one of the good guys now, and he thinks that he can redeem himself through whatever. I think it's such a brilliant sort of like pitch on the character, and it made doing the season so much fun because like Dex has like this lightness about him. He has like a sense of purpose that he has been sorely lacking for a long time. So the dude's got fucking pep in his step, and if he's gonna murder fucking 30 people in a diner, he's gonna do it with fucking pizzazz because he's just stoked about it. And like, hey buddy, you're okay. The dog's okay. I'm not after you. Like, we're all good here,
but it's unsanitary to bring a dog.
Yeah.
It's not clean.
I mean, dude, we've all got our fucking our things that need to be fucking made clear.
I'm not gonna lie. I know people you don't go full John Wick on me, everybody. But I agree.
Yeah.
Bringing a dog to the restaurant,
there's no place for it.
That's the most LA thing I've ever heard. Though
very LA.
It is very LA to bring the pup to dinner.
I used to work at the Chateau Marmont many years ago. I was a waiter there, and you would have all these celebrities bringing in their little dogs. I remember, I won't name any names, but they would come in, they would get like a steak for their dog, and they had this dog eating like a $40 steak at their feet. I was like, oh, you motherfuckers are crazy.
I'm saying there are a lot of celebrity dogs that are living better than most people. Yeah. Like but hey, good for the dogs. Yeah. The dogs should live well. We love dogs here. We pull up a couple. That was an unintentional pun there. Yeah. A couple questions from the Patreon subscribers, and this is from Evan. And I think this is a fun question because I also noticed, like, dude, the way you're throwing knives and stuff this season, you're like, and they flip it this way, but you just have like a cool way of bouncing these things around. So Evan asked, how much of what you do with the marksman and trick shot stunt work is practical versus special effects, and how much of it do you actually get to see versus how much of it is really just you have to wait till they add that stuff in?
I see what you're saying. So I guess there's like sort of two parts to this. Part one is that almost all of it is special effects in terms of like actually throwing stuff.
You're not actually knocking these guys out and throwing knives in their eyes?
I know, sadly.
Damn.
That said, and this is something that because that sort of is like, it's like, oh, bummer, wah. On the other side of things, I spend a lot of time working out cool ways to throw things because and that was something that honestly I even like changed a bunch since the season 3 iteration, where there were some times that either I just didn't pay enough attention to like making my throws look fucking sick. And it sounds so stupid, but dude, if that's your fucking superpower, then you better make your fucking shit look tight, dude. And so now, like, I'm always like, how have I, like, what's a way I haven't thrown something yet?
Yeah.
And I love it, dude. It's like there's so many fucking stylish, cool ways to do things. make it look sick. I'm always like sort of experimenting with stuff. And when I'm practicing by myself, like I'll actually throw stuff because it's honestly, I will say one of the things that sucks is that when you're pretending to throw things and you're not actually throwing them, it's fucking hard on your like rotator cuff.
Yeah, I bet
because you're just like whipping like nothing, you know. So I have to do a lot of like stretching and shit.
I know, like with Thor, they have a hammer that's like 2 pounds,
right,
and they have a hammer that's like 40 pounds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you ever have something like that where just to give you
sometimes,
like a
yeah,
interesting?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sometimes I'll like have something in my hand or whatever, but I mean, part of it's just like, you know, safety stuff. Like I can't be hurling. There's a ton of people on set, so I can't just be like fucking throwing 30 forks around.
Tell me, did you actually flip the coin into the cup?
No. I did practice. I've practiced that little coin thing he does on his fingers a bunch.
Oh, that's dope.
I remember,
cool.
That was from the first season. I was like, I really want Dex to have, no pun intended, but like a lot of dexterity, like manual dexterity. It's so, his hands are so important.
Yeah.
His arms. This is a dude who, you know, just those are his weapons.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's constantly honing it.
Oh man, this is from Karen. What other Marvel villains would you
Karen.
like to? Yeah, shout out Karen. What other Marvel villains would you like to share some scenes with, whether it be in Daredevil or other MCU projects? Villains is interesting. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I get the like heroes one a lot, but the villains, that's a great question. I'm like slightly stumped right now
because there's also not a lot of villains that survive their movie.
Right.
There's not a lot that go, like Loki's the only one, and even he kind of became a good guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Ultron. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who could possibly? I don't even know.
It's also like a lot of these villains just sort of like occupy such a different, like you're thinking like Magneto or some shit. I'm like Dex and Magneto sharing like a fucking, like, can you imagine like Dex is in the diner and Magneto steps into the diner?
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro, but Ian McKellen is going to get the best of you.
Yeah, dude. Like, he's like, oh, you want the forks?
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, you threw a fork. Throw another one. Go ahead.
I mean, I guess that's where the lobster claw comes in handy.
That's true. Know? He's not dodging a lobster, bro. Honestly, Bullseye kills Magneto with the lobster tail. That is
you heard it here first.
Hey, dude. And the last one here. Wait, I don't know what this is. Steven said Variety reported today that you want a Bullseye special. Did you do an interview with Variety?
Last night I did. I mean, look, dude. I saw that like blurb. Like my phone blew up a little bit with it this morning. Like, to be clear, what they said is like, John, you know, are you excited about John Bernthal's new special? I'm like, of course, it's gonna be sick. They were like, would you like to do your own one someday? So of course I'm gonna say like, yes, of course I want that. But it's not like I'm like out here like, you know, tooting my own horn and like campaigning for it. Like, but also I'm tooting my own horn and campaigning for it. Like, yes.
Like, no, I don't want the work in the story.
Yeah, exactly.
No, forget it. We'll leave that for John.
Yeah, exactly. No, man,
I think I think that was everything that I had written here. But man, dude, I feel like I've just talked to you all day about this stuff. It's so damn cool to watch this. And the next few episodes that people haven't seen yet by the time this comes out, dude.
Which I also haven't seen. I hear the end of the season is just bonkers.
Oh man, it is. Yeah, we'll talk.
That was another one where on the page I'm like, I hope this works because this is so ambitious, and you just don't know. You know, you just don't know. It's such a wild thing about, you know, making movies, making TV. Just like, as great as something can be on a page, you never know like how it's going to turn out in execution. And from everything I hear, it's they did it.
Yeah. So are you in Spider-Man?
No. That would be fun. That would be fun as hell, dude. I would love to do one of those movies at some point.
You just have to ask everybody if it's a plays a New York character if they're going to show up in Spider-Man. Yeah. The one thing I wrote down that I forgot to ask was, has anyone asked you who's a better shot between Bullseye and Hawkeye? Yeah,
and I'm always going to advocate for Bullseye, but I do think that it would be fun. I think it'd be really fun to see that. Like, let's go, Jeremy. Let's fucking
get him in Secret Wars, dude. Get you out there. I'm sure he'll be there. You know, maybe. Or at the dude, I would love to see because there's concept.
I also am like, dude, when are they gonna fucking fold Bullseye into Thunderbolts or some shit, dude? Like, let's go.
Well, in episode 1, I don't know if. I felt like I was like the only person who caught this. I'm sure other people did. I can't wait because this episode 1 hasn't come out yet. Yeah. I'm sure like New Rock Stars and Heavy Spoilers and all those guys who did the great breakdown videos will catch this. But there's a moment with Matthew Lillard's Mr. Charles where the phone call in his first scene is from Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character.
No
He
way.
says like, "Oh yes, okay, Miss Fontaine,"
I didn't even pick
and it
that
completely
up.
changes the room. Wow. So I was like, okay, there is a Thunderbolts tie, a New Avengers tie right here already.
There you go, man.
And who knows, maybe you and Mr. Charles will go on an adventure. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, there's some, I think there's some cool stuff in the works for the new season in that regard. I won't spoil anything, but more decks to come, man.
Hell yeah! All right. Well, I always end my interviews with this because I like to just get to know people a little bit, and it's called The Main Character with Brandon Davis because you're the main character, and it's inspired by a thing I do in wrestling where I call myself the main character there, because it's like my version of I'm doing this for me. Like this is my story, and I'm gonna tell it my way. Yeah. So I think about main character energy and like journeys and stuff like that. What would you say along the way is probably one of the most like main character moments of your life that if you didn't make that choice or take that chance or pursue that thing, probably everything would be a little different today?
Man, that's a wild one, man. I mean, look, I'll just put two out there that sort of like come to mind. One was I had taken a gap year off of, after I graduated high school, traveled, came back to the States, was working in a restaurant, I was living up in San Francisco at the time, was supposed to drive across the country to go to school on the East Coast. And like as I was getting in my car, I called this old friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a long time, who lived in LA, and I was like, "Hey, I'm about to be in the car for next few weeks or whatever, next week. Can I stop by and say hi?" Yeah. And I never left. So
there you go.
So I never showed up at college, and and then just like, and then once I was in LA, it wasn't like some master plan to become an actor, but then that thing started. So my acting career is a result of that. That I sort of like made this sort of left field choice at that time, and then part two is that I swiped right on my wife.
There you go. Hell yeah. That's a good moment right there. That's a key moment. Yeah. And now, what is your kid, 3 now?
3 and a bit. Yeah.
Wow. So soon, right around the corner, going to be able to watch Daredevil with you.
Not so much. She'll be watching Heart of Dixie before she'll be watching Daredevil for sure.
I love it.
And maybe not even that, not for a while. I don't want to see her dad fucking.
Well, I was actually about to say, I saw the concept art for the that multiverse ride they're putting at Disneyland, and Daredevil's on it.
Oh yeah,
that would be I don't know how it's like pretty far out still, I think. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe that you could take your daughter and she'll see it. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I think she'd be a lot less interested in that than she'd be in going to Elsa's castle. But
it might be more for you. It might be more for you on that one.
No, come on. She's like, fuck you.
Dude, Wilson, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man, it's great.
Enjoy the rest of the ride. Good luck with season 3, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, see you soon.
All right, man.
All right, everybody. See you in the next one.